Mike, come on.
So you're Bubby and you're Bubba. Which one are you?
Mike.
Bubby and Mike.
No, you gotta be Bubby and Bubba. It's twins match.
When you come to the clubhouse.
Mike and Ike.
Bubby and Bubbles.
Mike and Ike, like the kids.
No, I hate Mike and Ike's. The sour ones are turning it. I know you love all the flavors, don't you?
Candy, you don't think like candy.
So how do you feel? Hall of Fame bound.
Hall of Fame bound. I feel honored. You know, I didn't think that, you know, I would really go into the Hall of Fame. You know,
Why?
so
You remember we had a magical cab ride.
Yeah, we had a magical cab ride. And yes, I have more trophies than all the rest, you know.
Some icons too, right?
And who's an icon? Because people that people are called icon and legendary are not icons, nor are they legendary. You know,
so if we were gonna go a la the talk show radio type thing, and I wanted you to be messy, could you throw a name?
If you were doing it, yeah, what? If you wanted me to be messy?
If you were gonna throw,
because you're my friend from way back. You're my brother. Those side chicks, you know, I don't really deal with them like
so
that.
Give me a favor and tell me who's not an icon.
Who's not an icon? Let me think now.
It's not a big list.
Truthfully, right, it's not a big list. You know, I think my rivals are not icons.
Like
that's self-explanatory. I don't think that certain people are legendary. Icons are people, to me personally, right now, icons are the ones from 85.
20 years of service.
20 years and better. But see, then 20 years and better, but 20 years of consistently
20 years of consistency.
You know what I'm saying? Even if they left and came back, they have a major impact. Two people that y'all have made icons that haven't quite made 20 years are well deserving, like Ashley and Sanaya, because those two have reshaped the form of.
They defined it. They broke it down after Letitia and Alyssa. Those two girls,
till this day, still wanting to vogue like them. Some of the butch.
And also, you got to remember, those girls made it. Those girls made you want to vogue.
Exactly. And these was two girls that nobody saw. Nobody saw them. Nobody saw them at all. And these are two girls that have reshaped. And when they come on the floor, they command the crowd without even moving, just getting up out of their seat.
That's called spellbinding.
Completely.
Spellbinding. Spellcasting.
So all of us right now, you know, who are going into, we're leading up to icon status. Me, myself, I have 18 years in the game, you know, but we're leading up to icon status. You know what I'm saying? You have to be well deserving of it. People are calling themselves icons because they don't want to be associated with the children that are being called legendary. Where at a time when we were called legendary, we fought for legendary status, and legendary status held on for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things contributed for people to become legendary, along with your wins, your contribution to the ballroom scene,
and the impact. It was the impact.
It's always an impact. Like
memorability. Who remembers you doing what?
Exactly.
And where and when?
Exactly. You had to say, for instance, you had to take time, and you was the kind of person who became legendary. I don't toot my own horn or whatever like that, but you couldn't. I was a child that you couldn't stop. You understand what I'm saying? Until this day, you can't stop me. I don't care if a new motherfucker comes out in the scene. You cannot be Fab until you win over me.
Right.
Until this day, besides my brother Roy, nobody wins over me. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care if you are a new child. I don't care if you're 18 years old and I am 36. You have to win over me to be able to become on your way of becoming Fab. You understand what I'm saying? Or even get recognition in this ballroom scene.
Can we go back to that keyword Fab? When I came out, that word Fab had a lot more importance than anything else.
Just like when I came out, Legendary had a lot more importance.
Exactly. It's getting dwindled because of the new icon status,
right.
And also because of the breakthrough of so many balls, and also because girls are just deeming girls legends because of just
friendships, and time and stuff
legend
like
is
that.
as legend does.
You understand what I'm saying? If you are a legend, you should be able to step on that floor, and if somebody questions your legendary status, who have you won over? It should be no problem with you naming a bitch. And naming them consecutively. I won at this ball, I won at that ball, and it was this year and stuff like that. And it ain't so much
at the tip of your tongue, your legendary resume.
It ain't so much of you winning of the year because, truth be told, I won of the year in 1993 at the second Mizrahi Awards Ball. I didn't win again until 10 years later when I won Legendary Realness the first time that they had it, and I won Legendary Realness 3 times in a row.
Correct,
but
right.
during that 10-year span, I was still knocking down houses by myself. I was the only Revlon standing at that time before I left the
Let
house
it be
and went to the
recorded,
house
let
of
it be stated.
Icon. You understand what I'm saying? So
Can I ask you another question though? So you, and I can attest to this, that throughout the whole time, me leaving, going to Virginia, Andre going to Atlanta, everybody abandoning New York and Philadelphia, you being the only one staying here, me coming back, Eric Bazaar, the whole thing.
Right.
How do you feel about a lot of girls who really didn't make any real impact, but because that they have the backing of financial statuses, or because a group or somebody is aiding them, they feel that to put their stamp on it, they're just trying to alter the perception of their status.
Right, and I don't see it. That's why, like tonight, just like I did at the last ball I was at, from this day forward, because now I have been put into the Philadelphia Hall of Fame, and I waited until I was put into the Philadelphia Hall of Fame, and then come September being put into the New York Hall of Fame. Anytime that I'm
not just New York, remember, let's correct it, it's just the Ballroom Official Hall of Fame. The start of it all, right, the blueprint, the Big Daddy, my conception.
Exactly. From this day, from that time on, once I found out, even though I was always a loudmouth, you understand what I'm saying? You could hear me anywhere, and if I didn't see somebody, or if I didn't say they was legendary, I was screaming at the top of my lungs. Anytime I'm somewhere on the panel or in the sidelines, I will pull rank because I have that right. I've earned that right to pull rank. She is not legendary. She is not turning it. If I feel that somebody is being unfair, because what we strive in this ballroom fair, at least to be fair.
Can I ask you a question? As far as speaking of fair, do you think that I've always acknowledged your pull, or have your pull has always been acknowledged?
Yeah, I think my pull has always been acknowledged. You know what I'm saying? Because as you know, and a lot of other people know, even though I'm a loudmouth, I'm still a nice person. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, anybody, new kids or whatever, always come up to me and speak to me. Even though Ashley had named me Father, the name Father is all throughout the state. People don't call me James anymore. They call me Father because they look to me to guide them and have advice. Kids hit me up on MySpace because they hear that I'm so nice and stuff like that. They think the persona of realness is, oh, he's mean and stuff like that. Oh, you hear me yelling and screaming at somebody at the ball, or you see me slap somebody. I'm not a bully, bitch. I will put you in your place. But I think that you've always recognized it. Eric has always recognized it. Stuart has always recognized it. Junior has always recognized it. And
definitely, like a person, Stuart, giving you his stamp. I mean, like, you were a Revlon. You dominated really as a Revlon.
Exactly. And then when the whole house left, it was just me, Danielle, and a few others. You understand what I'm saying? Tony went to jail, and I became the acting father, because when I first joined the House of Revlon, the first thing that they asked me was, if there were 5 Revlons left, would you leave? And my answer was no.
And you didn't.
And I didn't leave. I left when I was ready to start my own.
Start your own, and that's a good reason to leave.
And that was it. And I had the blessing of Tony, even though at the time my mother Danielle had passed.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But I had the blessings of my father Tony to go ahead and pursue and keep it the dream that I wanted, which my house is all femme queen house with selected butch queens. You understand what I'm saying? And I like it like that, and I think that we're well respected. We don't go to a lot of balls and stuff like that, but the balls that we go to, we make a good impact on it.
But can we touch on that femme queen house thing? Is the fact that I think the reason why you pattern your house as the femme queen is because you really have the respect for what the femme queens meant during the Mark Ballroom era. We did not come to the ball to see sex sirens. We didn't come to the ball to see Vogue Femme. It was about femme queen face. It was about femme queen realness.
Performance, femme queen realness, femme queen runway. Even though we loved the butch queens, we loved Butch Queen Vogue. Not even Butch Queen Vogue Femme at the time. Facial performance, Butch Queen face, Butch Queen runway, Butch Queen body, even Butch Queen realness. And people think that Butch Queen realness is an easy category. It's a hard category. It's not a popularity category.
It's about your imagination.
That's all it is. And imaging your straight counterpart, as they said years ago in Paris is Burning. Me coming out in '88 and not walking a ball, joining the house until 1990. I had 2 years to learn everything that was going on. When you come into this thing, you have to learn. Where back in the days, legends was respected. When you was in the presence of a legend, you never said anything.
Thank you. And on that note, being that I can testify for that, this is James Icon. He is Hall of Fame bound. He's in the Philadelphia Dorian Corey Awards Hall of Fame, and he will be inducted September 13th in New York City, as he properly deserves to be. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard it straight through. It's not gossip, it's not tea, it's just the facts. This is Jack Mizrahi reporting live.